The big political story today continues to be the BJP's crisis over Vasundhara Raje and what to do. Sources in the party at the moment are indicating that they're waiting and watching to see how this situation unfolds. There seems to be a sense that if Vasundhara Raje goes, there could be a clamour to ask other leaders, perhaps Sushma Swaraj, to resign as well. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, who spent the last 8 or 9 days in the United States, just landed a little while ago. He was cornered at the airport by the media crews who were waiting for him. This is what he said, essentially saying there is no tainted minister and then refusing to answer any more questions.
But we call it tainted ministers. Where is the moral high ground that the party talks about?
Well, there is nobody who's tainted, please.
So, but BJP has not sought anybody's resignation, sir.
Well, Mr. Jaitley completely refused to answer reporters' repeated questions there on landing back in India. And obviously now the senior party leadership has to take a call on what it wants to do. We've got senior journalist Padma Rao joining us in the studio. At this point also GVL Narasimha Rao, BJP spokesperson, will be joining us shortly as well. Padma Rao, very interesting that today there was not one but two statements that came from Vasundhara Raje's office in the evening. And to sum it up, she denied a series of things that the media had been reporting all day. One, that she had been asked to resign. Two, that she was going to split the party. Three, that she was inviting MLAs home in a show of strength. That she was leaving for Delhi. That her trusted minister Rajendra Rathore was leaving for Delhi. So these specific things were denied in her statement. What was not denied was the signature or the document. Do you find that significant?
Well, I find it significant. I think what she's doing is biding her time and playing for time, you know, because I was on another channel last night, and from what I heard, breaking news last night was that she had been trying repeatedly to contact the PMO, and her calls were not being received, quote unquote. Now, I don't know whether that's true and what credence there is to that claim, but undoubtedly she's biding time. I suppose anyone would do if they were faced with such serious charges. And possibly, trying to sort of plan her next move or her next strategy should she really, get some sort of a signal from New Delhi.
GVL Rao, would you admit, as the spokesperson of the party, that there is a dilemma in the party about what to do on this?
No, I don't think so. There is any dilemma, because as has been very clearly pointed out, there are no allegations of corruption against any of them. And therefore, and also she has denied the existence of a lot of documents that have been put out in public domain by the Congress party. And
where has she denied
I
that?
think
Can you enlighten
somebody
us?
will have to.
Where has she denied the existence
Sorry?
of the documents?
No, I think, can you read, I can read it out for you. The letter that she issued, she clearly said that ऐसे खबरें चला जा रहे हैं, ऐसे खबर चलाए जा रहे हैं जो बिल्कुल तथ्यहीन हैं. So
yeah, but that's not a denial. I've just read out to you. She's actually specified in a second statement what she's denying, and what she hasn't denied in that is the signature or the document. It's for you to interpret. If you are willing to certify that NDTV authenticates these documents, I'm willing to further discuss on that as well. Well, we did show it to a forensic expert this morning, a handwriting expert who said that the signatures match, but that is the handwriting expert's point of view. My point is that, Mr. Rao, why doesn't she just come out and say this is not my signature? If it's not, just say it in plain and simple terms. It would just be better for the party and for her.
No, a media which is simply wanting to run its own hype and wants the chief minister to answer all the questions, all the mics thrown at them every minute. I think it is media's own hype and frenzy. I think a chief minister is not obliged to answer all the mails, questions that are bombarded at her. She has, I think,
actually she's obliged to answer quite a bit because she holds a public office. Padma Rao wants to come in on that, and I'll take this to Tom.
Sorry, very quickly before I hand it over to the others. The problem I'm having with this entire, with all these news breaks is that the Congress has been repeatedly saying, and earlier I did criticize this and said, why do you want the Prime Minister to speak? Why do you want, in this case, the Chief Minister to speak? Isn't it enough that the spokesmen are going on television? The Prime Minister can't react to everything. But I'll tell you why, Nidhi. It is because this particular Prime Minister has been so voluble on all other matters. You know, he goes, on television every Sunday with one kind of Man Ki Baat or another.
There's another one coming up this week.
There's another one coming up this week in which he's widely expected to, take a position on this. But I think because of his overall, voluble nature, and because he came as, we were earlier saying, the earlier Prime Minister was quite the opposite, hardly spoke or hardly took a position on anything, including similar scandals like the Vadra allegations, where repeatedly you had, camera standing outside his residence, he never spoke. So I feel that it's because the expectations from this Prime Minister to say something, because he's been saying a lot, so it's rather surprising that he's willing to talk about yoga, he's willing to talk about anything.
So you a few days ago felt there was no need for him to speak, but you've thought about it and you think now it's just come to a head.
I think he should speak. I think it would send out a strong message to the voters. Ultimately, I'm thinking about the voters who gave this party, including myself, I say this on television, an overwhelming majority in Parliament. And it's not enough to say we'll weather this. And also, I'm sorry, I'll let the others speak. I have another point on that, but I'll come back to it later.
Okay. Tom Vadakkan, let me bring you in on this. We also have news today that Srinivasan Jain was reporting about earlier, and Barkha was also reporting as well, that it appears that not just Vasundhara Raje but many other VIPs seem to have given these witness statements to help Lalit Modi stay on in the UK, and therefore the courts there took a favourable view and believed that he indeed was a victim, and these include prominent lawyers, politicians, businessmen, even journalists. And we're trying to access that list and see who these people are. That adds a whole layer of complexity to this story, and who knows who these politicians are and from which party they are.
Let's remain focused. Primarily the whole thing is that she says she has done it in her personal capacity. There has been Mr. Rao saying that she has denied it, which is not true. She has not denied it. Her office has written, a press release has been given out in which they say about the hype and all that, but there is no categorical denial coming yet. Now the issue about her signing that document, A, she knew he was a fugitive. She was leader of the opposition, A. B, the other element is, the darkest issue in this whole exercise is when she says that the authorities in Delhi should not know. And that too, she's revealing things to a foreign country, and what that amounts to can be examined in the IPC. It is very categorical. I'm not saying sedition, but yes, there are many things involved in which she's almost saying things which she should not have. As the leader of the opposition, if a journal does sign something, I'm not saying there is a irresponsibility in it. There is a responsibility in it, because you are signing documents regarding a fugitive.
But you're saying it's obviously different from someone holding a constitutional post.
Absolutely.
And therefore, Shekhar Gupta, what Tom Vadakkan was referring to is a line of argument that is coming out of the BJP today is that, well, she did it in her personal capacity. Does that fly?
Look, I may still have had disagreement with it, because she was an elected member of State Assembly and leader of the opposition, which has high status in India. But even then, if she had written the same affidavit, the same witness statement, without writing that one line, don't tell anybody in India. Frankly, if she had done it in her personal capacity and she thought Lalit Modi was being victimized because it was a Congress government, she didn't hold a brief for the Congress government. She could have even made this public that, Lalit Modi is a very successful guy. He's done a fantastic thing. Congress is targeting him. I've written this for him. I think maybe somebody would have written 2 tweets on it, but beyond that, there would have been no objection to it. But for her to say, I am so and so, I am a leader of the BJP, my family, etc., but start by saying, don't tell anybody in India. It's almost like saying, please go tell the Queen, but don't tell Bharat Mata. It simply does not fly. In fact, I think it's a very unthinking thing that she has done. Well, she can survive in power, I don't know. But as somebody who's admired her for a long time and who's personally liked her, I think this is a terrible, terrible mistake, if at all.
No, so Kumar Ketkar, the point is, what do you think that the BJP is afraid of right now? What do you think the dilemma is right now? Is it that if you take action against Vasundhara Raje, that you may have to look at the accusations against Sushma Swaraj as well? Because there are sections who could very well argue that Sushma Swaraj is one case, Vasundhara Raje is very different.
substantial influence in the Rajasthan Assembly. That's maybe their fear. I don't know whether she has. But they may fear that she may have substantial support in the assembly, and therefore party can get vertically split in Rajasthan Assembly. And if Rajasthan Assembly is split, perhaps the consequences can be all over India, or this may not happen. This may be completely outlandish fear. But I think the dilemma is that if Vasundhara Raje is sacked and Sushma is not, and Vasundhara Raje has support in the assembly and Sushma does not have to face that kind of a situation, perhaps there will be a problem for the BJP at the national level. That may be one fear. Second, I don't understand, I am quite intrigued and flummoxed that for much larger and more serious crimes, people in Gujarat are getting either bail or acquittal or completely ignored all those crimes and charges. How come Vasundhara Raje for that signature, and as Shekhar said, for that one particular crime is being likely to be punished, to resign? So I don't know. I mean, what crime and what punishment, whose crime and whose punishment?